Honored to be joined now by a fellow show host. In fact, I think his show is better than this one. He's only a few episodes in. But Jared Ivey, Ole Miss defensive end, host of the Ivey League, which you can find on these here YouTubes. Welcome, Jared. How we doing?
Doing good. And I got to do a shameless plug. That's with the Ole Miss Spirit, Land Roofing. I got to, you know what I mean, shout my guys out. But I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. Ole Miss Spirit, by the way, one of On3's websites. It is our Ole Miss site. And but I have loved watching you guys debuted in February, and you bring on a teammate, and you guys kind of go through how that person's journey to Ole Miss. And is it that you've done TJ Dudley, JJP Geese, and Chris Paul? Is it all transfers so far?
It's not like only transfers, but those are the guys that I've had on. I just want to get let those guys get to know the fans and let the fans get to know them, and just because they're new, so getting those guys kind of out the way, and then there is no bounds on who it could be.
So it's interesting because you are in year 3 at Ole Miss. You started your career at Georgia Tech, but it's probably got to feel like you've had a full college career at Ole Miss by this point, right?
Yeah, I've been here longer than I ever was at Tech, so it honestly feels like I came here out of high school. I've been here so long. But yeah, no, I love it. It's been great. And yeah, the last dance. So let's
That's right. That's right. How much did you guys talk? Because you were one of the ones who could have gone to the NFL and decided to come back. So how much did you and some of the other older guys talk about, let's run this back?
We talked a lot about it. I think a lot of people put too much stake in the NIL stuff. They stayed for this and that and these wrong reasons. We talked a lot about how the season ended last year and how we kind of wanted to just ride that high going into the offseason and then come back and really contend for a national championship. So that was one of the main things that brought a lot of us back.
Well, and I think it's interesting because in this era of the transfer portal, you guys have done better as a program by taking quite a few transfers, but it feels like you bring back almost as much as anybody this year.
We bring back pretty much everybody. There's some great players that we lost in the back end, but besides that, offensively and defensively, we bring back the meat of both sides, plus all the new guys that are coming in that are already gelling right away. So I'm very excited about just the depth and just what we got everywhere.
When did it start gelling together? Was it so you get to Ole Miss from Georgia Tech in 2022? When did it feel like you were at home and part of that team?
It was pretty quick after all the winter workouts and stuff, and we did the fourth quarter. Savage has some crazy workouts, and when you really bleed and sweat like that and really grind with your teammates, it happens pretty quick when you're going through the mud like that. So yeah, it wasn't like I came and it just took forever and I got to get to know all these guys. Like they were very welcoming, and they had already had a successful season that last year with Matt Corral and had a culture that was being built and the foundations of one. So I kind of just had to find how I fit in, and it brought me to where I am now.
So for those who don't know, Savage is not a nickname for the Ole Miss strength coach because he's so mean. Nick Savage is his name, and he's one of the best. I remember he was at Florida before Ole Miss, and those players swore by him, loved him. What's the toughest workout drill that he's put you through during some of the usually February or the truly hellish ones? But what's the one that just makes you stay awake at night?
Yeah, it's curves. We do like, it's almost like 200s back to back with a curve at the top. So we'll start like on one end of the field and then run all the way up and around and then finish in the end zone. Yeah, it's awful. And we'll do like 8 the first day, then the next week 10, then the next week 12, then the next week 14. So yeah, it's rough. That'll definitely take the cake.
And I'm assuming that's after you've already done a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that's after a full lift and then a whole bunch of other stuff, stations and all that. We were doing a bunch of stations and stuff last year. Now we've been a lot more football specific, but that's after, the skill guys do their 7-on-7 and Indy and this and that and a lift as well. So it's definitely tough.
Curves, I was thinking of like the gym, like curves that is more for the ladies. And then no, that sounds ridiculous because 100-yard sprint is bad enough. 100-yard like suicide is bad enough, but having to run the back of the end zone and then come back is like extra nasty.
Yeah, on a football field, it's no joke. It's literally it's pretty much a 200-yard drill, 200 and then some maybe.
Oh no, we're bad at math show, so we're not even going to try to add that up. But you are a little different cat when it comes to that stuff, the nerdy stuff. So I read your mom used to make you do book reports in the summer before you could do any of the fun stuff. So what are some of the books that you had to do book reports on growing up?
I remember reading To Kill a Mockingbird in like 4th or 5th grade or something like that. And then I would spring for the easier options. And I really liked, there was these books called My Friend Blank, and it'd be like a historical figure. So it'd be like my MLK, my friend Babe Ruth. So I really was like, oh, let me do these ones, especially after reading To Kill a Mockingbird, because that was a lot for me as a kid. And but yeah, no, I'm still very thankful for doing stuff like that and just expanding my mind and vocabulary that early on has just helped me tenfold now. So yeah, shouts out to T.I.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Now, My Friend Boo Radley would have been a little easier than the actual book, but man, that's advanced that age. But I mean, how important was your mom to getting you to where you are? Because I know you lost your dad when you were in 2nd grade. How big of an influence on you and your brother was your mom?
Yeah, as big as you could possibly think. She was, for the most part, the only influence, the main influence. So, just seeing her work as hard as she did to keep us, in the place we were at with the resources that we had, it was truly humbling and truly inspiring. So, yeah, I'd be absolutely nothing without the person she is today, and the person even going back. My grandmother is as an immigrant from Jamaica, so just without this line of strong women, I wouldn't be here. So I give all the thanks and props to them. There is no Ivy League, there is no Land Shark defense, there is no Ole Miss Rebel without Tracy Ivey. So yeah.
And so I imagine that school was always very important, and I know that's part of the reason you picked Georgia Tech coming out of high school. Is I know I've heard you on your show say you went there because you felt like you could play pretty quick, but also a very good school, and it's close to home. But you graduated high school as COVID's hitting. Like, what was that like? How much did COVID and everything that changed around school and football, how much did that alter how your football career went, you think?
Thankfully, it didn't really do anything to my football career. And I was able to finish out playing basketball like right before COVID hit. We actually lost in the Elite Eight in overtime to Sharif Cooper and that McEachern team. And like a week and a half later is when we shut everything down. So my recruitment and my high school career really wasn't affected by COVID. The only thing was prom and graduation and things like that. We didn't get to do that stuff. But besides that, I think the 2021 class got really the worst of it.
I heard you talking about your graduation. Like, basically, if you knew somebody with a pickup truck, everybody get in the bed of the pickup truck, and you just had like a parade through town and waved at everybody.
So they did like a online diploma situation where they like put up a picture of everybody's face, and then they had the music playing in the back, and then the next day we did like a parade throughout. I'm from a small town, so like just a parade throughout like the town square and things like that, and around some other neighborhoods. And yeah, basically you just poke your head out of a sunroof or a window or sit in the bed of a trunk and people would wave and maybe throw some candy at you or something, and that was pretty much our entire experience.
That's crazy. Yeah, one of my favorite parts of your JJ Pegues episode was him talking about like he'd just gotten his suit for prom his junior year, and like COVID hits, and what do you do with the suit? Like,
facts.
What do you do?
Yeah, it was even worse for the girls because they're getting. We're going to K&G and just buying suits off the rack.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting these $500 dresses and doing $500 more dollars alterations to them to make them only fit them. So yeah, was super unfortunate for all the ladies who preempted about their dresses. Yeah, really rough.
Well, let's talk about the show a little bit, because it is great to hear you talk to your teammates, because everybody's comfortable. Now, I'm not joking when I say that Jared is a better interviewer than me. So out there in viewer land, trust me on this, and you're gonna watch. I guarantee you're gonna watch this show afterward anyway. But had you done anything like this before?
No, I asked questions. I grew up a very curious kid, and I remember when I was really young, like preschool and early elementary school, my mom like put like a question limit of the day for me. Like I'm only allowed to ask a certain amount of questions on the hour. So I just have always been comfortable, asking questions. I like to get to know people, and I'm not really I don't really do too well with small talk and stuff like that. So I like to, ask questions. I like to ask open-ended questions and really pick people's brains. So I kind of just, it kind of just fit.
Well, and that's the thing. You so naturally, like in journalism school, they teach you it's called the 10-90 rule. You talk 10% and the person you're interviewing talks 90%. Like listening is the key. And you're a great listener. I'm going to play a clip from your JJ Pegues episode, and it's about JJ running the Wildcat when he was at Auburn. JJ, the 300-pound defensive tackle now, but he went to Auburn as an offensive player. So here's JJ explaining the first time he ran the Wildcat in a game.
So it was raining real bad against Arkansas, and all I know is it was like 4th and 1. Malzahn looked at me. He said, "Wildcat." So, my heart just boom, 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 boom. Bo Nix come up, you better get the first down. So now that's me coming in as a freshman. You got Bo Nix in your ear. You better get the first down. Okay, I bet. So I snapped the ball. They snapped the ball. I fake it to Schwartz. I see an opening, but
you fake it to Schwartz.
Schwartz like in motion. Pitch. It was like he was motioning, and I'm like just carrying it out. Okay. And I see the defensive end coming down, so I'm like, okay.
It was a read and all, like, yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I know he's finna come chop me. So I said, I'm in my hand, I'm gonna run straight, stop, let him dive. I ran straight, spent off of him, make it look good,
I saw the clip.
Seeing the guy come, stiff arm him. Then I'm like, okay, I know he's finna chop me. It's raining.
And it was this is the corner, or this is the safety that's coming.
This is safety.
This is the safety that's coming now. Okay, so you got a little head of steam.
Got a little head of steam. Yeah. Like, I'm a big guy. Don't nobody want to hit me up top. I hate when people hit me up top. You know what I mean?
Right.
So all of a sudden, I'm gonna jump.
We're gonna leave you hanging there because I want you to watch the whole JJ Pegues episode. But I love how you help him paint the picture there. But other than that, you just let him cook.
Hey, it's his story, So I'm just all I'm there for is to just provide a little detail for the audience, man. Just give a little insight and let him, speak his piece.
So, who's the dream guest for the Ivy League? Who do you want the most?
That's a great question, man. I have not thought about that. The dream guest for the Ivy League. Probably my mom. I'll say my mom.
Oh, I would watch the hell out of that episode.
She would do it.
Does she have to suspend the question limit?
I don't know. We'll get that written down on paper. Maybe write up a little contract or something. I don't know.
What was the question limit? Because I'm seriously considering using that with my kids now. Like you have exceeded your number of questions for today. I'm not answering anymore. Like, what was there an actual number?
It was I think the only one I remember was I could only ask like 1 or 2 questions in the car. So like while in the car, I could only ask, because then like I'd be talking the entire car ride. You can listen to no music. She couldn't listen to her book. She couldn't do what she wanted to do. So it was definitely in the car was the most restrictive place. Like, yeah, I only had 1 or 2.
So do you do this now, like with position coaches, with teammates?
Do what?
In terms of asking questions, or is it more
as far as
I'm
like
gonna chill?
As far as the game goes, like I'm always curious to learn more and more and become, a smarter player and learn more and more about defense and scheme and things of that nature. But yeah, I mean, I ask, I just am a conversationalist. I just,
So speaking of scheme, year 2 with Pete Golding running your defense, how much easier is it now? You just started spring practice, having been in it.
Yeah, we were. The boys were just talking about this the other day. A couple of the guys from last year are training for the pro day. I was talking to Stephon Wynn about this, just about us like having. I think we're a deeper room this year, like we're a deeper D-line room this year, but just our knowledge of our own scheme, like our comfortability in our own scheme, like, and being able to get the newer guys up to speed quicker because we already know it. Like it's nothing is fresh, nothing is new. I think it's going to make us just so much better as a group. So yeah, I mean, just we're taking it day by day, and everybody's putting in the time to stay in their playbooks, and PG's made it super simple. So yeah, everybody's really getting a grasp of it.
And you get guys coming in like Walter Nolan from Texas A&M, Princely Emmanuel from Florida. Are those guys as good as advertised now that you've gotten to see them on the field a little bit?
Yeah, y'all will see come fall. Those are some studs right there.
And how much, like you said, you guys understand it better. Is it easier for them because you guys can kind of help them along?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Because any questions they have, we have the answer. So it takes stress off coach's back. Coach only has one mouth, and he can't coach everybody individually all the time, as stuff goes. But out there on the field, we're able to communicate, and I'm able to help people get lined up, help people, with their responsibility and things like that. Just until they can, get it on their own, and they'll end up, being just as vocal as I am.
So when y'all all decided to come back, we said, okay, Ole Miss is going to be great. They're going to be preseason top, whatever, expected to make the college football playoff. How much talk about that part of it, the expectations, goes on among the players now, or is it not something you guys talk about?
There are times where it comes up, but I feel like for us, the whole vibe in the facility is that is just known. That's the mission, and everybody's accepted that, and that's just kind of our way of thinking. So it's not something that I feel like you have to talk about a lot. It's something that we just do.
And is that because you've played together so long? Because you who are the strongest leaders of this group? Like who emerged as the people who will lead the 2024 team?
I'll say guys like Dart, JJ, me, Ulysses, Trey Washington, like John Saunders, like Trey Harris, like that Jordan Watkins. I could go on. Like we're such a team-led group, and I feel like so many guys that could have these big egos check that ego at the door, and they're able to lead when they're supposed to lead and follow when they're supposed to follow. So, yeah, I feel like we got a team full of leaders.
It's a bunch of old guys too. Like all those names you rattled off, as 4th and 5th year guys. Like, is it part of being older? Being someone who's been through a lot. Got a bunch of college graduates on this team. Like, does that change priorities a little bit, or change the way you look at how you make decisions?
Well, it's a maturity thing. It's a maturity thing, and it's also a confidence thing. Everybody knows they have what it takes to play at this level, and everybody knows the plan. Everybody has gone through that first 2 years where they're just getting their feet wet, and yeah, am I going to go 100% every single day, even though I'm tired and I'm young and I want to do this on the side or this and that? Like everybody, I feel like when they come into the building, puts everything aside and has that pro mindset and that different level of focus.
Well, I can't wait to see what it winds up looking like this season, but also I'm waiting for these episodes of the Ivy League to drop. The
Every
Tracy
Thursday.
Ivey one, I'm telling you, Tracy Ivey is the dream guest. I want to see that episode. So Thursday's the next one, and you can find it on YouTube. Anywhere else you need to look for it?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. This past week they posted the entire vibe on Twitter. I believe It's on SoundCloud as well. So yeah, a bunch of different spots on the Ole Miss Spirit as well, where you can leave comments if you have an account and a subscription. So if you want to chop it up, maybe get your question answered. We
got to get you posted on Instagram too. I heard you talking about that with one of your teammates, and I'm the same way. Like I can't imagine taking a picture of myself and then putting it out there and be like, "Hey, look at me."
Right.
But I have friends and acquaintances who do it all the time, like professionally, and it's like it's working for them. But I don't know. It feels too weird.
Well, thankfully, over at Riverland Roofing, I have a great assistant who, not my assistant, the assistant of Big Bill over there, who's running the Instagram page at Ivey League.
Nice.
So there is an Instagram page, and she's posting clips and graphics and things like that. So yeah, she's really, taking charge of that front on social media. I think she's working on doing some stuff with TikTok too. So yeah, we're hitting on all horizons right now.
Already a media bogle. Just wait. It's only going to get bigger.
Just trying to learn.
I got to ask you. So obviously football is going to go for a while for you, but when football's done, what is your dream now when football's done? What was your dream maybe when you were a kid for when football was done?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I wanted to be an astronaut. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah,
that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I did a short mentorship shadow kind of thing with a commercial real estate firm in Atlanta, T Dallas. And I really enjoyed that, and I thought maybe that could be what I do when this is all said and done, and now with the Ivy League, who knows about becoming an analyst or this and that, and doing that route, So I don't know, man. I just try to think about tomorrow, man, and tomorrow I'm still a Reb, so that's where my mind's at.
Well, enjoy that time being a Reb because it is short now, but seems like it could be a pretty special year. Jared, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Andy. This was a pleasure. Maybe I'll have to get you on the Ivy League, man. We'll do a little.
Oh, I would be honored. I would be honored. Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples On 3. And oh, by the way, watch all the other great videos on the On3 Sports YouTube channel.